Hey y'all, it's Stephen Van Kampen-Lewis, and today I want to do a quick video on some blooms that you can see over my shoulder there, as well as let you know that my grow tent is back up. Not my grow tent, my shade house, and it's got a lot of orchids in it. So in subsequent videos, I'll show you what it's looking like this year, and it looks pretty good actually. I'm pretty happy. I got a lot of room, made some tweaks to the shade structure itself. Kind of pulled the sides down so that things all are more shaded in the late afternoons. But I'll show you that another day. In fact, today I want to show you these 3 blooming Cattleya types. And worth noting is that I want to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. So a lot of you who grow inside in the winter and outside in the summer can attest to the increased pest pressure that you get during the wintertime. And maybe you're lucky like me where your indoor time is fairly short and you get to put your plants back outside in late March. Others of you are farther north and have a longer winter season. And so you're going to be dealing with pests for a longer time. For me, I don't really treat them in winter, but when I bring them outside, that's when I'll start treating them. And then the native pest killers, especially the wasps, will usually take over. So I'm going to show you some flowers today, and I'm also going to show you a whole bunch of scale and mealies, and it's really frustrating to show. I thought about cleaning it off before showing all of y'all, but again, I like to show the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I'll show you what I'm going to do to treat them. All right, here we are. So we have Rhyncholaelia glauca over here. We have Cattleya schroderae over here, and then lueddemanniana over on this side. And all of them typically bloom this time of year. But let's take a look at this one. This is one of my favorites. This Rhyncholaelia glauca is just so nice. And it is an awarded clone. It has an HCC, and it's called Red Heart. And of course, as you can imagine, the red heart is right there. And that's actually pretty typical of glauca to have that. You know, there are alba varieties that don't have that, but it's just such a great species, and I think it's underrepresented compared to its more flashy cousin, Digbyana. And as the sun is coming out from behind the clouds, the sun is just back there. Hopefully you can see some of the sparkles in here. Let's see if we can zoom in and see that. So as you can imagine, in real life, it looks really nice. It looks like sugar dust. But this one has tons and tons of mealies too. In fact, you can see some right here, some scale over here, and all of that's pretty common for this time of year. Next is the schroderae. I got this a bunch of years ago. It's a 4N by 4N, so you can really see how nice and pink that is with the really bright orange lip. This is a really nice one from Sunset Valley Orchids. I guess the only complaint that I have is this wonky dorsal sepal here, which seems to have curved sideways and then rolled back, which is odd. But otherwise, it's a fairly carefree grower. Really nice looking flower. You know, I think when it gets larger, I'll see if I can take that in to be awarded. I'm sorry, I said that one was from Sunset Valley Orchids. It's actually from Gemini Orchids there in Florida. But here are some major scale and mealies. And I say major, it's actually not too bad. What I'll do is I'll peel the sheaths back here, and then I'll show you what I'm going to use here in a second to treat these. Nothing fancy or exotic, but pretty effective. And then, actually, while I'm on the topic of mealies, I'll show you this one. This is the lueddemanniana. Look at how gross that is. Some here as well. Not terrible, but enough to kind of make you be surprised. And you can see that the scale and mealies are back there as well. And they're super gross. This year's blooms are really weird looking. Actually, you can see my treatment there down the side, but for some reason these blooms came out very poorly shaped. Color's okay, but the flowers are crowded and they're just not, I don't know, the color is not what they should be. They were much nicer last year, and I think I have a photo that I can show you of last year. It's supposed to be a rubra, but it's not really living up to its name this year or what it did last year on its first bloom. So I'm a little disappointed by that. Not really sure what happened, but still pretty nice to look at, even if it's not award worthy. And as far as the mealies are concerned, this is it. Insecticidal super soap. From both of these are good. Captain Jack's or Garden Safe. I buy whatever's on sale. Turned out that this one was on sale, so I got that one. Previously, it was this one. I'll totally soak these plants with the insecticidal soap, and that typically takes care of it. And then the natural pest control, typically the wasps, does the rest of the hard work for the year, and or at least for the season while they're outside. And I don't have to treat for any kind of pests typically during the growing season when they're outside. That's all I wanted to show you today. I hope you all have a great weekend.